What is up, guys? Stark here. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a different type of video, something that I don't usually do, but after the last OPTC Sugo Fest, I had a couple people come up to me and they were like, hey man, I really wanted to see your OPTC Sugo Fest pulls, but I see you didn't make a video, and you know, it kind of got me thinking, maybe if I'm not going to pull for a Sugo Fest, I should at least make a video to tell you guys what I'm doing. So that kind of led me to make a video like this, and if you guys enjoyed the video, then I'll continue making videos like this in the future. But basically what I'm going to be doing here is taking a look at the new news that got announced on Global last night, and namely we're going to be talking about the Blackbeard Sugo Fest that's going to be coming out. Now we also are getting the Kizaru raid boss, which is pretty awesome, but I will be talking more about him in his own video when he comes out. So we are going to be taking a look at the Blackbeard Sugo Fest here, and just, you know, my personal opinion, but the banners and icons for the Blackbeard Sugo Fest really do look cool. So we're going to go ahead here and read more about the Sugo Fest, and Blackbeard's coming here with attack plus 50 cotton candy on him, which is pretty cool. So if you pull a red poster and you see that plus next to it, you got Blackbeard. And, you know, just knowing that is always nice, because, you know, sometimes you pull that red poster and you're always worried maybe it's a dupe, but if you see that cotton candy, that plus, you know you got him. But the bad thing is here is that we do have the multi-pull, which isn't a bad thing, but the bad part is that it doesn't look like any of, like, normally what they do is the 11th pull is like some sort of guarantee, but none of the units here are guaranteed on that last pull, so it's just another pull, which kind of sucks. If they would have done like a guarantee one of the Blackbeard Pirates, or even just Blackbeard himself as the 11th pull, like that would have just made it so much more worth pulling for on the Sugo Fest. Of course, Blackbeard's rated up as he is the new exclusive Sugo Fest character, and then you have the new units that come with the Blackbeard: Shiryu of the Rain, Death God Doc Q, Supersonic Von Augur. Oh wow, they changed the spelling of his name. Van Augur. What? We're not going to call him that. Demon Sheriff Laffitte, Champion Jesus Burgess. And then they also have the Sentomaru, Ideo, Abdullah Injit, Baby 5, Master Caesar, and for some reason Scratchman Apu rated up. Now for me personally, other than the new units, obviously, I don't need any of these units, which kind of sucks for me. And then obviously you have the 4-star versions of all these characters. So all throughout the event, quick type characters will be rated up, and Blackbeard will join your crew at level 5. So you know, just looking at this, I'm not really impressed. Honestly speaking, there's nothing in here that jumps out at me like saying I need to pull. You know, me personally, I feel like the next Sugo Fest that's going to come out on Global is going to be the Anniversary Sugo Fest. So I really don't want to waste my gems on this one, trying to pull for, you know, like Shiryu, or honestly, Shiryu, in my opinion, is overrated, and I'll get into that later on in the video. But the unit I would want the most right now would be Van Augur. I think he is the best unit of the bunch, outside of Blackbeard, of course. You know, Legends are always going to be up there. But yeah, you know, that 50 cotton candy is nice, but that's not really going to be enough to get me to pull, especially considering the Anniversary is right around the corner, and that's definitely going to be a really good Sugo Fest. So what I'm going to do now is basically just cover the units themselves, and I'm going to rank them in the order that I think they are in, and I'm also going to run something in the background here. I'll do the Sugo Fest Island, and I'll probably keep talking past it, so I'll do something else. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rank them. This is just my personal opinion. I've been trying to stay away from the ranking game because it's, you know, pretty controversial, but I do like rankings. I do like making them, so we're going to try my hand at it here. Where's Baccarat? I guess I could use Haruta, but Don't tell me I don't even have a team for it. I think I got rid of my team for it. Okay, well, I'll make that in the meantime. But anyway, so let me go ahead and move on with my rankings here for the Blackbeard Pirates. So first up, we have the Demon Sheriff Laffitte, or, well, he would be the last in the ranking. I think he is the worst of the bunch. And let me find Baccarat here real fast. I don't want to get distracted while I'm talking. I'll just make this team real fast. It doesn't matter what I pick. Okay, so in my opinion, Demon Sheriff Laffitte is the worst of the bunch. His captain effect isn't really all that interesting, and his special is very, very situational at most. Now, if he would change those badly matching orbs, or even the block orbs into matching orbs, then he'd be fine, but considering he only makes them, like, not do reduced damage, then it's just very situational. I can't even think of a situation in which you would use him for that special as opposed to someone else, maybe like a Kuma or something. And he doesn't do any orb boosting or anything like that, so he only reduces Bind and Despair by 2 turns. So really, I don't know, like, I just don't see too much of a use for him here. His stats are okay. He's got 1132 attack. I just don't see too many uses for this character overall. So moving on to 4th on our list here, we have the guy you see on the screen here, which is Grim Reaper Doc Q. Now, his captain effect is pretty good in my opinion, and it will reduce the recovery of all characters by 99% and boost the attack of striker and slasher characters by 2.75 if HP is above 99% at the start of the turn. So basically, he's going to be like your Marco and your Apu, your Moria, and I just forgot who the other one was, Thatch. So as long as you have full HP, he's going to give you that 2.75 boost, which is really high, and for slashers, that's really good if you know you're not going to be taking any hits. But his special reduces his your crew's HP by 10%. So if you use his special, his captain effect is no longer active. So, as a sub, it's not bad. He's going to be able to give you that 10% HP cut, and then he's going to change block, tandem, and recovery orbs on slashers and strikers into matching orbs, which could see some play. And he's got a really low cooldown. It maxes at 4 turns. So I could definitely see Doc Q making it as a sub-unit. But as a captain, it's going to be situational, and you can't use his special as a captain. So there is that problem. And he reduces your recovery by 99%. So even if you were going to try and use a meat orb to heal back, it's probably not going to do enough recovery to get you back over 99%. His stats are okay though, but overall, he's again very situational. So moving on to number 3 here. And now this was a pretty close one between 3 and 2. And it might surprise some people when I say that because, everyone's on the Shiryu hype train, but I know I'm spoiling my entire list before I even get to it, but at number 3 we do have champion Jesus Burgess. Now he's a pretty interesting unit in my opinion, and he's going to boost the attack of fighter and powerhouse characters by 1.6 and their HP by 1.2. Now I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did. So if you have fighter and powerhouse characters, you're going to end up getting something like it's a little bit higher than 2.5 for their attack boost and a little bit higher than 1.4 for the HP boost, which is good. It's obviously better than a 2.5 captain slightly, so you could definitely see some play there. And his special is also really interesting in my opinion, where he's going to deal large strength damage to all enemies, and then he's going to boost the attack of fighter characters by 1.5 for 5 turns. Now, when you initially look at that, you feel like 5 turns might be a bit overkill. Like, you're not going to need that, maybe 2-3 turns at most. But when I see that, I look at it and I think, well, because he has 5 turns of boost, that means you can potentially use him in situations where you're going to clear one stage and then move on to the boss stage and still have that attack boost. and you can even get through all like the preemptive turns. So namely like Colosseums, I can see him being useful in Colosseums a lot, where you can use his boost at the tail end of stage 4, and then on stage 5 you'll still have the attack boost to burst down the final boss. So I definitely see Burgess here having some play. His special max at 17 turns, which is pretty standard for, you know, anyone really, like for a usable special. And he's got some really good stats, you know, 1368 max attack and 3870 HP, which is one of the highest in the game. So I definitely see Burgess making some sort of impact on this game going forward. And then at number 2 we have Shiryu of the Rain, who I think is ridiculously overhyped, and I don't think he's as good as most people think he is. Now, the only reason why I have him over Burgess in this list is because of his stats. He has the highest attack of any int slasher on global at the moment. He is tied with Mihawk for that spot, but still, he is up there at number 1 with 1490 attack. Like, that's just insane. If you need an int slasher on your team, you're going with Shiryu if you don't have Mihawk. And even if you have Mihawk, you're probably still going to want to put Shiryu on that team. But his captain effect is basically, well, it's exactly Doflamingo. Boost the attack of HP, boost the attack and HP of slasher characters by 2 times. So, you know, that's nothing new. And his special is, while it is really good, it is not nearly as good as most people think it is, where he has a small chance of instantly defeating any enemy in that stage. Now, you can't re-roll this, so you can't just back out of the game and then go back in and keep doing it until you kill an enemy. You have to make, I believe you have to make another attack and then try again. And if you have 2 Shiryus, you know, that's going to increase the odds of doing this. But essentially, his special is a gimmick, and it's no different than zombie teams in my opinion. So if you want to take the time to go through a training forest or a Coliseum stage or a raid boss and keep resetting your game after you attack, trying to get Shiryu to proc, by all means go ahead and do it, but you're not going to be able to speed clear things with it, and it's just going to take a huge amount of time. It might be nice beating it for the first time, just getting that reward and moving on, but it's a gimmick, and that's all it is, and I don't see why everyone's freaking out over it. It's not going to break the game, you know, they're going to come out with something to stop it. So like I said, you know, if you want to spend the time doing it, go for it. It's going to be nice to be able to clear things for the first time with Shiryu, but you're not going to, you know, like I said, you're not going to be able to, like, farm things with it unless you have, like, ridiculous levels of patience and you just don't have any other alternative. So, yeah, like I said, I think Shiryu is completely overhyped. Now, he's not bad. Like I said, he's not bad, but his special is not game-breaking. So, like I said, that's just my opinion on it. So you don't have to agree with it, but that's just how I feel about it. And his special does max at 19 turns, which is a little bit high for most things. So you're going to have to stall extra, and then, like I said, you know, you can't just go back and reset it. You have to make an attack, and sometimes you don't get that many turns to get it to work. But it is a nice little thing to have. If you get lucky, you get lucky. So, yeah, he's a pretty solid unit, great stats, so he's definitely deserving of number 2. And then the best unit for, in my opinion, of the normal units is the Supersonic Von Augur, who is just phenomenal, really. He's got 1371 attack for a shooter, and he is a quick character. So if you're facing up with a character who can't be delayed, then you could just swap out Usopp for Van Augur here, and you're just going to get so much more offensive push. Now he's going to, as his captain effect, he's going to reduce the cooldown of shooter specials by 1 turn at the start of the fight, and then boost the attack of shooter characters by 2.5. So right there alone, he becomes one of the best shooter, he's not free to play, what am I thinking? But he does become one of the best shooter captains in the game right off the bat right there. And, you know, that alone is almost enough to put him at the top of this list. But then his special comes into effect, where he changes the orbs in the top row to matching orbs. Now, for anyone who's familiar with the Ace Dream Team, you know that one of your aces is going to be lacking an orb. So using Von Augur here, you're going to get that second green orb on your ace. But then he also boosts the orb effect of shooter characters by 1.75 for 1 turn. Now, yeah, it's only good on shooters, but combo that with Frankie and you have a deadly combination. Now, you can't use Frankie and Von Augur on the same turn, but what you can do is you can use Von Augur in a previous stage and get the matching orbs and use Ace's special to lock it, and then on the next stage you can use Frankie for that 2 turns of orb boosting, and you can use your Zephyr special or whatever to burst them down. And like I said, he's a blue character, a quick character, so you're not replacing anyone on that Ace Dream Team really for him. He's just gonna slip right in there. We used to have Margaret, who's like the free-to-play version of this, and now we're just getting it just an overpowered version of that character. So, you know, Von Augur is definitely the one I'd want to get the most out of this batch. Obviously not talking about Blackbeard here, because Blackbeard is a legend, and he is just ridiculously good. But let's go ahead and talk about him anyway. So, he will boost the attack of all characters by 2.75, and their HP by 1.5. Now, there is a small little condition for this. You do have to have a striker, a shooter, a fighter, and a slasher on your crew, or else it won't work. But there are a lot of characters in the game that have multiple classes, so as long as you have one of each of those 4 classes, you get that boost. So even if you have like a character that's like a driven cerebral character, as long as you have the conditions met on your other characters on your team, that character will still get the bonus. And then also, all of your attacks will ignore defensive barriers and buffs, which, just reading that alone just makes him like one of the best captains in the game. Like, he's so versatile. You can use him with pretty much anyone in the game as long as you meet that condition, which really isn't that hard. And then he ignores defensive barriers and buffs. Like, that is just insane. You'll have to watch videos and, you know, get them yourself and just see how broken that is. I can't really explain it because I can't show it off, but it's so good. It really is. And then his special just makes him even better, where he's going to cut the current HP of each enemy by 30%, and if Blackbeard is your captain, he will bypass abilities and barriers just like his captain effect. And that's crazy. You know, when you get those people with the combo shields and you can't use your HP cutters because it doesn't work, well, Blackbeard is just going to ignore that and go straight in and do that 30% HP cut. So, it's amazing. And he does max at 19 turns, which is a little bit higher, but for what you're getting out of it is definitely worth it. The only thing I don't like about Blackbeard is his attack animation. It is really hard to get used to, but once you get the hang of that, you should be good to go. And he has 1520 attack, which is really good. So I think that about covers it. You know, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this video. I know it's probably a little rough because I kind of just woke up one day and decided to do this. I didn't really plan it out too well, but if I do make more videos in the future, it will be better organized for sure. But let me know if you guys do want to see more videos like this in the future. I'll definitely do it if you guys want to see it. But yeah, that about covers it for this video. I do want to say that I'm probably not going to be pulling on the Sugo Fest, because like I said, the anniversary is right around the corner and I want to save my gems for it. And I don't really need any of these units that badly. Like, outside of Blackbeard, who I would be really happy to get, I don't really need them. So I can wait for the anniversary and hopefully I get lucky there. And it also gives me more new characters into my pool that I need. So I am going to probably pass on the Sugo Fest. If I do pull, I'm going to do one multi-pull at most. So, see you guys. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. And, you know, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.